commitment in your life after marriage is probably real estate. For those that are with us at the very, very beginning, I was a licensed real estate broker. I'm licensed immigration now. So yes, I've been in all their shoes, and I was a mortgage broker one time. But we're going to go to Atlantic Canada first, and I'd like to bring forward my colleague, Jürgen Wieland, who's going to talk to you about the different aspects of New Brunswick. So Jürgen, come online. Seems to be issues with the click meeting today. We've never had this before. Maybe it's summertime and the internet's slower. Jürgen, you're there. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. And I just learned that the Canada won not 3-2, but 4-2.
Correct. And yes, we're
not
going to the final tomorrow. We're going. It's not 3-2. We're going to the final tomorrow. Finland versus Germany later today. On paper, Finland should beat Germany, although Germany's kind of like France in rugby. They could win on any day. And
I think Germany did a lot of their homework already. Dennis, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they won against Canada already during this World Championship. They lost against Finland. It'll be a hard game, but they're up for it. And wouldn't it be awesome to win again against Canada in the finals for the Germans?
I'll let you see ya.
And could also admin soccer at some point. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me here. Good morning to everybody. My name is Jürgen Wieland. I've been now with Dennis for about a year, and I've gotten to know Brazalou Migration because of a client of his who is happily in Canada, here in my community where I live in Greater Moncton. I'm a realtor. I'm licensed here in the province of New Brunswick. And sell houses. I consider myself a matchmaker. And New Brunswick is a humble province with closest to the United States from considering all the other closer to England. So for you moving here, you're very quick to the East Coast. Let me just see here with the slides, always a little challenge with the small buttons. Dennis and some of my colleagues, they're all out for hunting and fishing. Anyway, I like shooting with camera, and Canada, the country of bears and moose. We also have pretty birds, and many of them we find in our backyards. Like this selection here, I took the photos. The top right one is a black-capped chickadee, and that is the provincial bird of our little province. Our province that has 782 and growing people who live here, who choose to live here, in on a fairly large region. We have 3 major communities with Fredericton and St. John and some others. And the Greater Moncton area is considered the hub in our province. We grow relatively fast. In these days, we deal a lot with immigrants. What we could use is, if any of you have plans to grow a company and produce something, that'd be great. We are very service-driven and oriented here in Greater Moncton. Our real estate prices are relatively low, with approximately $250,000 for the average home. That is how much it costs in New Brunswick, and $266,000 for a detached single dwelling in the Greater Moncton area. Prices grew about 15% year over year from 2020 to 2021. And in just recent months, we added another approximately 30% increase in price value. And still, I'll show you a few pictures in a minute. You will see and recognize that house prices here in New Brunswick are really relatively cheap and low compared to many, many provinces, other than in Alberta. Julie will explain to you a little later. Residential Homes in sales, well, in a good year, a few years ago, we would have sold 2,500 homes in a year. Right now, we are selling 4,000. Those are statistics. Currently, our inventory is very low, and people are jumping at opportunities to purchase houses. Many times we have offers over asking price. And here is a little bungalow that one could have had a couple of years ago for $180,000. Here with a garage, $235,000. I said bungalow. Well, precisely, this is a 3-level split. You will find and would recognize that houses are built a little different here in this country. We built a lot with wood structure, wood framing. Brick fascias or brick faces on houses are typically just the face. The house itself, the structure, is not typically built with stone on stone. $235,000 Canadian, 137,000 British pounds. You would have 3 bedrooms. Things are a little bit updated. You can expect updated colors and relatively modern appliances. And when you spend a little, if you spend a little more, $450,000, double the amount of money, you get a relatively new construction, a house built in around 2010, 2015, and 3,000 square feet you can expect there, and kitchens and other rooms are very well appointed, and you have modern interior. And for around $790,000, just to show you something that these houses, these are examples of sales from just very recent weeks. $790,000 would give you 4,000 square feet with here on this one with a larger lot. That is always important. Then when you spend a little more money, you can expect more. In other provinces in Ontario, your lot would likely be relatively small for that kind of money, and you'd have a smaller house. Here, everything is very, very well designed, also outside with the landscaping, a walkout basement and terraces, and yeah, just gorgeous, gorgeous. So when you spend a little more money, you can get a really, really posh, hot house, and but altogether very, very affordable. New Brunswick is a really great province, fun to live here. You have everything. You have communities, culture, and we are, well, beautiful, modern, world-class for sure. And if you have any questions about real estate, talk to us. We can connect you with realtors in other provinces, and it is very, very important for you, if you choose to purchase a house as you move here, to work with a regional and local realtor, and not to purchase anything from where you are, like don't necessarily follow any advertisements. Typically, houses are being purchased where you move to. We know the market, we know the conditions, and we research the house with you, and yeah, forward to helping you out.
Jürgen, thank you very much. So as you said, it is important to use a licensed realtor because you've had experience where people have bought a house over the internet and they didn't go through anybody who was licensed, and they got caught out, didn't they?
They did, yeah. That happens every now and then. And interesting is then after a deal was done and people lost out on with their well, livelihood. I mean, this is purchasing a house wherever you are is one of the most important purchases in anybody's life. And if you then take all your savings and give it to some internet company or contact in another country, and they tell you something about the market that is thousands of kilometers away, often it can be rather shady. Anyway, so it's then hard or not possible to fix afterwards.
Jürgen, thank you for coming out today, and I really hope to see Canada-Germany final.
It would be fun, but that keeps us entertained.
Okay. So everybody, what we're going to do is we're going to go from Atlantic Canada. We're going to go all the way out west to Western Canada. And I'd like to introduce my colleague, Julie Perry. I've worked with Julie now probably 15 years. She is an award-winning real estate agent. She consistently wins Agent of the Year. She may not promote herself, but I will, because she's a fantastic person to work with. And she is representing Western Canada today. Hello, Julie. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very good, because I have my Timbits, my Tim Hortons, and Canada is going to the finals of the World Championship.
You know what? I think you should honestly send those to presenters, that are coming on, just so that we can feel as sugar rush as you do first thing in the morning. It's
I am
unfair.
more than happy to put Timbits in the OneDrive for you, so you can download your Timbits later.
Okay.
I'll let you
Good morning, everyone. So I'm in Alberta, sunny Alberta. So welcome. I have been a realtor since we emigrated. We emigrated from England back in 2006. I was a teacher. My husband was a police officer. And I intended to get back into teaching when we came to Canada. I decided to go into real estate instead, just because, I felt that I could offer a better service, and obviously some of the things that were happening. And it's, this is a fantastic province. We chose Alberta because it is gorgeous. It is sunny. So yesterday here it was 32 degrees, bright blue skies, sunshine. It was absolutely fantastic. So, it's a great province to live in. One of the reasons we chose to move was because we wanted a better life for us and the kids. We came from Devon, and which is a beautiful part of the UK. Don't get me wrong, I do love Devon, but we wanted a better life. We wanted more opportunities for our children, and so we decided to make the move and come here. And it is something that we have never regretted. Complete change of career, obviously, but it's been great. So why live in Alberta? So Alberta has one of the lowest costs of living in the whole of Canada. So when you look at Canada, it's a huge country, and this is what some people from the UK just don't get, or some smaller countries. Canada is massive, and each one of the provinces has different rules and regulations and different taxes. And that's really important when you're considering, Alberta has 5% tax. So just like VAT back in the UK at 20%, or is it 17.5 now? I don't know, they keep changing it. Just like your VAT on everything that you pay for, you get GST. GST is goods and services tax. However, some provinces have PST or HST on top. So harmonized sales tax is a GST and the PST merged together, and PST is just PST on top of the GST alone. Don't have to worry about that. What you have to worry about is percentages. So in Alberta, we pay GST at 5%. That is it. But if you were to go to BC, it's 12%. If you were to go to Ontario, it's 13%. And if you were to go to Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, and PEI, it's 15%. So you can imagine when you do your average shop, you've got 15% on top versus 5%. It does make a huge difference. So don't just consider house prices when you're doing a move. Consider your lifestyle as well. Alberta, world-class scenery from mountains. I've got a 180-degree view of the mountains out of my window. The Rockies are spectacular. They still have snow on them, by the way. My son was doing night nav last night up in the mountains, helping out. He's grade 12. He's helping out the grade 10 class, so he'll be very tired when he gets back this morning. But they're doing night nav up in the mountains, and probably had a fabulous time, although he'll be too grumpy and tired when he gets home to tell me. But you've got that on your doorstep. So hiking, climbing, mountain biking, camping, fishing, horse riding, golfing, rafting, skiing, skating, snowboarding, anything you want to do. The scenery is beautiful. So we've literally got from mountains to prairie. We live in the foothills, which is where Calgary is. Calgary and Okotoks, which is where I'm based, are all in the foothills. So we have those gorgeous mountain views. As you can see from some of the pictures below, I've got some of the pictures of the mountains. Out on the prairies, those are the hoodoos. So a lot of the spaghetti westerns were filmed out in the hoodoos. So that's out by Drumheller. And then obviously there's the ice castle down at Lake Louise down there. Again, just absolutely beautiful scenery, and and it's just fantastic. It's on your doorstep. You have to consider wages as well when you're coming to Canada. So the average wage in British Columbia is 53,000 and change. Alberta is 61,000. Ontario is 55. and Nova Scotia is 48. So not only do we have some of the lowest taxes, but we also have some of the highest wages, except for obviously, you know, if you're going to the Yukon or something like that, they do have higher wages than we do. So just to let you know. Anyway, land transfer tax. This is something else. If you're buying a house, you have to consider that some of the provinces have land transfer tax. And land transfer tax basically affects when you purchase a property. We don't have any in Alberta. Alberta, there is no land transfer tax whatsoever. But if you're going to buy a $500,000 house in Alberta, it would cost you $500,000. If you were to buy the same house in British Columbia, it would cost you $8,000 more in land transfer tax. So it's a bit like stamp duty. In Ontario, depending where you are, but if you're in Toronto, it's going to cost you $12,950 more. And if you're in Nova Scotia, it's $7,500 more. So that's something to consider. It's a beautiful province. You have to kind of come here to realize, and I'm just trying to get onto some of the houses. So if you look at some of the houses, this is just some of the examples. The house at the top is priced at $295,000 UK. It's a 3-bedroom plus a bonus room. So you have to remember, so all of our houses in Alberta, most of them have basements as well. They can be finished or unfinished. Now, an unfinished basement isn't like a cellar in the UK. An unfinished basement has walls, has insulation, it has concrete floor. It just means that it's finished, so you can put in your own dividing walls if you want to, and depending what you want to do. The top one, it's sold, but it was on for $295,000 UK. 3 bedrooms plus a bonus room, great house, you know, 2,000 square foot, 1 step off of the walking path to the Sheep River, absolutely gorgeous. The one below, 260,000 UK, again, that one backed onto green space, great views of the mountains out the back of the house. That one had a total of 5 bedrooms, had a wood burning fireplace, as well as a gas fireplace, and obviously the attached garage, and it was a big house. And the other one at the bottom, 373, this one backed straight onto the golf course. Mountain views out the back west, fully finished, 2,600 square foot. And when we count square foot, we only count what's above grade. So your basement is extra. So that one had a developed basement, about another 1,200 square foot in the basement and 2,600 above grade. So, you know, you're talking about a 3,800 square foot home, a lot of vacuuming. But you know what, we've got a wide range of different properties here, so that's not a problem. Buying a property anywhere in Canada, you know, you can find something that you like, but you have to consider your lifestyle and where you want to go. As I said, we moved for a better life for our kids. We moved here because the average house prices, if you go province to province, in British Columbia, the average house price is $945,000. Okay, remember the average wage is only $53,000. In Alberta, our average house price is $443,000. And our average wage is $61,000. In Ontario, it's $890,000, and their average wage is only $55,000. In Nova Scotia, $362,000 is their average house price, but their wage is only $48,000. So you have to consider, you know, don't just look at cheap house prices. Look at your lifestyle, look at where you want to go, look at where the job opportunities are. Alberta is a great province. We've been here for years. We love it. And, you know, it's where we brought up our kids. But last time I was speaking to Bo, my son was skiing in the morning and then he was going climbing, you know, the next day, because we had beautiful weather here. It was really, really hot, but he'd gone skiing in the mountains. So we have the option of, you know, the outdoor kind of lifestyle. As I said, I've been doing this for a long time. I've helped many people to emigrate and to settle in the local area, and I've been working with Bo for a long time. It's a great province. If you have any questions at all, then please just give me a call or send me an email, and I'll put my details in the chat.
Excellent, Julie. Thank you very much again. Yes, Alberta.
Bo has disappeared. There he is. He's coming back again.
So Alberta is one of our popular provinces for a lot of the reasons Julie has talked about. It is a fantastic province, but I believe you have some good news. And I believe the premier of the province, is it guaranteed that the rodeo is going to go on? Or is it highly
So our Stampedes. So Calgary Stampede, our the biggest rodeo on earth. So 10 days of complete party. It's great fun. It is supposed to be happening, so we're all counting on it happening. So it's massive. You know, it's a great opportunity. We have such great fun at the Stampede.
Don't even have to be a cowboy or a cowgirl in order to enjoy it.
No, you don't. I tried one time going in my cowboy boots, and because you're on your feet all day, because I mean, literally, it goes till gone midnight every night. There's a huge midway there. Obviously, you've got all the shows, events. There's normally world-class singers, actors, ventriloquists. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy, but it's great fun. And there's a Stampede breakfast absolutely everywhere. So, you know, no one has to go hungry. You can literally go from Stampede breakfast to Stampede breakfast in all different places all the way across the city. So I don't know quite what it's going to look like this year, but Stampede's happening, which is great. And we'll see. But, you know, it's one of the first normal events we've had in over a year. So that would be great.
As Julie mentioned, she's going to pop her details down below. So by all means, contact them, contact Jürgen, contact Renata, contact Alexis. They're there for you. Julie, thank you. And we'll see you in August, I guess.
Okay, you take care. See ya. Bye.
Thanks, Julie. Bye-bye. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my colleague, Renata. Renata is the partner I've worked with the longest. We've been doing the immigration show since 1996. 1995, maybe for Renata. I was a year after her doing the shows, but here is our Welsh lady coming from Ontario, my home province. And yeah, fantastic. Renata, thanks for coming out this morning. How are you?
Oh, you're very well. I'm great, thank you. Great. Good morning, everybody. And I, as Bo said, I am in Ontario. I live in Oakville, which is a lovely town sitting on the shores of Lake Ontario. And it's about half an hour drive from downtown Toronto. As Bo said, also, I'm originally from South Wales. I've been here a very long time, but I still have my Welsh accent, which I'm kind of proud of. And I emigrated initially with my husband and my then 2-year-old son, not really knowing too much about Canada, but we were young and we thought we'd have a great adventure. Now, many years later, we're still here and have built up a wonderful life here. I've built up my real estate profession by establishing a niche market, helping newcomers to Canada. And I've participated in emigrant shows in England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And I've also presented seminars in Shanghai for the Chamber of Commerce. I've also known and worked with Bo for, I guess, yeah, it is about 25 years or more. So I guess the question is, why Ontario? Ontario is the centre of industry and manufacturing. It's the financial hub of Canada. And we also have a very vibrant IT sector in Waterloo, just an hour out of Toronto, and also one in Ottawa. So it offers many diverse employment opportunities. But not only does Ontario have the benefit of excellent employment opportunities, part of the good life is balancing your work with play. And Ontario can offer you a playground of 340 provincial parks covering 9 million hectares of land and 250,000 freshwater lakes on which to enjoy yourself. So this slide just shows the skyline of Toronto taken from the lake. This is obviously the famous Niagara Falls, which is about an hour drive away from my house. This slide is Algonquin Park. This is a massive provincial park in Ontario, and it covers 3,000 square miles of forests, rivers, and lakes. All realtors are not, well, realtors in Canada are not estate agents. We are licensed by courses and we take examinations. We can basically sell you any property from any real estate company. In order to keep our licenses active, we have to maintain courses. We have to be regulated federally, provincial, and by the local real estate boards. Every client has representation and protection. So whether you're a buyer or a seller, you are protected by the, we have to be ethical and work with integrity. There is complete transparency and disclosure to the consumer. There's one thing that's a little different too in Canada is that the realtor actually represents the buyer. So if you're buying a house, you are being represented. Again, there's total transparency. Everything here is in writing. We provide personal one-to-one service. And even though we are representing a buyer, there's no cost to the buyer. We actually get paid out of the proceeds of the sale. But that comes from the listing agent's company. So you do not pay for the personalized service that you'll be getting. All houses are listed on the MLS system. You don't have to go to all the other companies and websites to look for properties. You basically give your realtor the criteria of properties that you're looking for, and we will search all active listings. We will know anything that's coming on the market. We know everything that's going on in our areas in terms of the real estate business. So we can take you to any property, no matter what company lists it. Sales and leases are written. Contracts are not verbal, and they are all legally binding. So when you have an offer accepted, neither you, the buyer, or the seller can decide to change their mind. And above all, there is no gazumping. So once an offer is accepted, that's it. These are a couple of houses I'm going to show you. I'm not quite sure if it's very clear, but this is different types of houses. Basically, the further we move away from the GTA, which is the Greater Toronto Area, and where it's prices are reflecting the distance. So the further away you go, the less expensive the properties are. Obviously, if you're right in the city, the houses will be more expensive. We have a huge range of different styles of properties, from the usual townhouse, semi-detached, to different materials used, from vinyl, wood, aluminium siding, to brick and stone. And the prices also vary according to the type of house and the location. We do have brick and stone houses in Ontario. However, they are only veneers, and the house construction is all wood frame. All houses, as in Alberta, are built on basements, so there is extra livable square footage based on the actual footprint on the house. So the first picture I did show you is a custom-built house that sold, and it's on 10 acres in a small village called Erin, Ontario. This is the next one. This one, I actually sold this last week. This indicates the kind of market we're in right now, which is very unusual. This is a small detached family home it's right downtown Toronto. It was listed at $879,900, and it sold within 6 hours for $1.2 million. Don't be shocked. I think these are just the unusual times right now. So I'm not quite sure if this will last, but my sellers were absolutely delighted. This is another indication of a different kind of property. This is a lakefront apartment. And the benefit there is if you do get an apartment, then you can actually face the lake and have water views all day. And this is just just to show that, we have nice detached bungalows, double car garage, very nice kitchens. I think a final takeaway from this webinar that I would highly recommend that you work, as Jürgen said, with an agent that you feel comfortable with and with whom you trust. Take advantage of their knowledge. It costs you absolutely nothing. And I can assure you that the experience of buying your first home will be stress-free and very enjoyable. Okay, thank you.
Renata, thank you very much for coming out this morning.
You're
Fantastic
welcome.
as always. And yes, Ontario, quite a bit there. And we're going to move on to the lady who's going to help you be able to buy these properties, whether you're working with Renata, Julie, Jurgen, or anybody else in Canada. So Renata, thank you very much. And
you're welcome.
At the next expo.
Yes.
So without further ado, Alexis, thank you for joining us today, because I think you were in the hospital yesterday.
For a short period of time, yes.
Or are you in the hospital room right now?
No, I'm at home with my coffee.
Okay, that would have been dedication for sure. So
Yes, no, that would have been a bit too far.
Exactly. So Alexis and I have worked together for a number of years, and Alexis, I'm going to let you take over.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dennis. I am a mortgage broker. So in Canada, you basically go to a mortgage broker or to a bank for your financing. The benefits of a mortgage broker are many. If you go straight to a bank, they'll just give you their products and their options, which are very limited, to be honest. In most cases, it's either A product or B product, whereas a mortgage broker has access to every lender in the country. Each province has its own licensing, the same as for realtors, but I am part of a team, I lead a team, and we have agents coast to coast. So we can help you buy your dream home anywhere in Canada. And the big advantage of using us is we are free to you. The lenders pay us for doing all the paperwork and lining everything up for them and collecting the documents. So there is no charge to you unless you need private financing, but that's a whole other thing. But basically, we are free. So we are great at knowledge and advice as well. So you should reach out to us for any questions. We're always here to help, free of charge. And it's the same as if you use a realtor here. If you're buying a home, there is no cost to you to use that realtor. So we are tools here to help you. So reach out anytime to any of us. I came over with Brazil immigration 17, nearly 18 years ago, actually. We visited both Manitoba and Ontario, and we decided to live in Ontario. And we came with 3 children, and we now have a 4th who is Canadian. And we love it here. This is home. It's for us. We came to give our children more opportunities, but as adults, we have been able to do many things that we couldn't do in England. We've managed to start businesses here and make them grow from scratch. There's many opportunities here. So if you're willing to work, this is the place to be. But about financing a home in Canada. As a new to Canada person, whether you're on a work visa or permanent residency, you can purchase a home with at least 5% down, which must be from your own money, not borrowed. You have to be in Canada for 3 months before you can close. So before you arrive or on arrival, you can purchase a home and put your offer in with a deposit, but you can't close on that home and move in and until you've been here for 3 months. You will need to bring a credit report from your country of residence if you're purchasing within about the first year. Otherwise, we establish credit here for you as well, help you do that. And then you can use your credit score from here. If you have even a student's visa or a non-resident, you can purchase here with 35% down. There may be other taxes you have to pay as a non-resident, dependent on location. But if you have questions about that, feel free to reach out to me and we can go over your individual criteria. And if you're clergy here, you can just be on a visitor's visa and purchase with 5% down. The housing market in Canada, as Renata mentioned, is nuts at the minute. People are listing lower than really what they want for properties as well in order to attain that well over sales price, in my personal opinion. But the market is very, very busy. Rentals are pretty busy too, but not as much as sales. It's definitely a seller's market right now. You can pretty much list anything and sell it very quickly if you're realistic. Prices have gone up about 30% in some areas over the last 15 months. I have actually had clients buy homes sight unseen over the internet quite a few times. We have great virtual listings here. So you can go on and walk through the house, guide yourself around online on the virtual tour, professional photographs by the realtors, floor plans, etc. So it is a great way to look at a house before COVID and take advantage of those tools. There's a realtor.ca website, which is where most listings get listed. You don't use an individual realtor here. Everything is on one board, one page for clients to see. So that's a great tool to use, the realtor.ca. The process of purchasing a home, you get pre-approved first, especially in this market. You need to know what you can afford and that you won't have any issues being approved, because most deals are going in firm. If you get a chance to have conditions, great, please do, but most people are buying firm at the moment. So you get pre-approved by your licensed mortgage broker, and then you give that information to the realtor, your budget, your criteria, what you're looking for, etc. The realtor will find you a home, and then the offer is then presented. Once that offer is accepted, you have to give them a deposit. The deposit is usually at the moment around 5% of the purchase price. So that's what you need to have with you to be able to give to it's held by the realtor company, but it goes in with your offer once it's accepted. Then you have the 90 odd days before closing, and in that time we'll get everything done for you. Now, if you do, like I say, most offers at the moment are firm, but if you do get a conditional offer, you then get time to do the appraisal, the home inspection, have your lawyer look at your offer, anything you may want to do. But in here, once you've had those few days, if you do get a conditional offer to firm up, then that offer is firm. Nobody can back out of it or change it at all. You just close 90 days or so after. And how much home can I afford? This gives you a rough idea. If you have joint income of around 80,000, you'll get around a $325,000 mortgage. 120,000 is 507,000 roughly. We have to take into account property taxes, condo fees, so it's individual. So this is just a rough estimate. So for instance, if you're earning 100,000 a year and you've got 100,000 down payment, you can get around 518, 520 roughly as a purchase price. That won't stretch very far in the GTA unless maybe you're looking at a condo, but in some other areas, an hour and a half north, you can get a detached house with a large yard for that. So that's something that a realtor can help you with as well, because you need to know your budget as well as what area you're looking in. But I think that's basically the synopsis. We can get your financing, we can get you into a house here, depending on your options. We actually came over with Brazelot, and we had 2 questionnaires that we filled out for them. One on my husband's current job and one on his prior job. And that actually gave us a few different visa options. So I know that Brazelot Immigration has the questionnaire. Please fill it out in as much detail as you can with as much information. It might not be your current job that you come over on, it might be a prior job, but give them as much information as you can, and they'll step up and help you in any way they can, because this is a great country to live in. Dennis, are you there? Maybe not. Oh, well, I'll put my contact info in the box, and if anybody has any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me.
I said I am without the camera and microphone on. So that was me having a moment. So Alexis, you're a very young lady, but you're not only a mortgage broker, but you're also a businesswoman.
I am.
How many companies do you have?
About 4, I think.
And so is it easy to be a business person here?
It's a lot easier than at home.
I was going to say, as compared to your home country.
Yeah. We did try in the UK, and it was so hard to get up and running and off the ground with all of the. I'm of the age where we had the EU rules as well as the UK rules, and it was a lot harder to do. But here, basically, if you're willing to work, you can seemingly do pretty well.
Anne has a magical question. What part of Canada can you cover?
I can cover anywhere you want to live. Where would you like to live?
Thank you. Alexis, thank you very much for coming out this morning.
Thank you.
See you again. Take care.
Bye.
So everybody, I'm going to make her attendee before she closes down the webinar. She did this last month. She shut the whole thing down by accident. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look at the province of Ontario. my home province, exactly where, you know, a very popular place for a lot of people to come to. So I would like everybody to sit back, relax. And our second last province of the day, let's take a look at the province of Ontario, which has Toronto and the capital city of Ottawa.